Welcome to Satan is My Superhero. In this episode, we continue breaking down
the book of Revelation.
Previously on Satan is My Superhero, we've already learnt that author John of Patmos claims to have been visited by the Holy Ghost and has taken dictation from Jesus himself.
Now, John, I want you to write down everything I say.
Now, John, I want you to write down everything I say.
No, don't write that part.
No, don't write that part.
We've also had a glimpse into John's interpersonal relationships with fellow second-century Christians.
I really like what you've done with your hair, Jezebel.
Oh, really?
Yes, it detracts from what a slut you are.
John of Patmos, report to HR immediately.
But I didn't say slut was a bad thing.
In Chapter 4, our intrepid explorer of the imagination, John of Patmos, takes us all the way to heaven.
Don't forget to visit the gift shop.
So now let's get straight into verse 1. John has just taken the Christ's dictation.
After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will shew thee things which must be hereafter.
I'm sorry, but I like my gods to have a voice of thunder.
Yahweh, that's your voice? A trumpet? You could have chosen all the sounds in the universe and you landed on a trumpet.
Verse 2.
And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne.
Do you think when John says
In the Spirit,
he means...
Yes, but let's keep reading and find out. Verse 3.
And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald.
Jasper and sardine stone? A rainbow? Who was John's in the spirit dealer?
I'll have what he's having, am I right?
Okay, let's break this down. So first...
And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone.
John saw a sardine sitting on a throne?
That was a dolphin.
Yeah, I couldn't find a sardine sound effect. Like, I don't even think they make them.
And you thought the vocalizations of a mammal not sharing a common ancestor with sardines for at least 400 million years was an adequate replacement?
Well, I did.
Anywho, there wasn't a sardine or a dolphin sitting on the throne.
Boo! Dolphin hater.
Jasper is a type of quartz. While it's not specified here, jasper comes in all colours but most commonly green.
Which one?
The olive one looks nice.
Yeah, but what if the Lord's rocking one of the green jaspers?
Does it really matter?
Are you kidding me? I don't want to wear the wrong skirt and clash with Yahweh.
Sardine stone is a red, semi-precious mineral known these days as carnelian.
Did they call it sardine because back in John's day it was packed tightly into cans?
No, it was a major export of the city Sardis, so...
No sardines were used in the making of this Bible passage.
That was a dolphin.
So, as mentioned so long ago, while in the spirit, John saw a being that he described as looking like precious stones.
I'm not saying I have any experience with hallucinogens, and I'm not saying that I've known lots of people with the experience of hallucinogens, but if I did, I would say this vision of beings that shine like precious stones is very common. I call them gem people, or I would if I had ever seen them.
Yes, this particular hallucination is so common, I googled common hallucinations.
That would explain why my feed is now filled with Russian bots trying to sell me mushrooms.
Don't fall for it, TTs. They're a rip-off. Or so I've heard.
Nothing to see here.
Look away! Look away!
The first academic paper I came across was published on the National Library of Medicine's website in 2022. 2022. Fuck. The very first case that paper details is a 57-year-old man with a history of type 2 diabetes mellitus presented with sudden onset, fully formed visual hallucinations. The paper then goes on to describe the man's experience. He described the appearance of multiple, normal-sized and proportioned people standing or sitting in the highway median, in the left visual field. These people were colourful in nature, but without otherwise distinct characteristics. And his distorted visual perceptions had evolved and now incorporated other abnormal visual phenomena of a colourful crystal sheen on the walls. So in response to your earlier question, yes, I think we know exactly what John means when he says he was...
in the spirit.
John has type 2 diabetes mellitus?
I mean, maybe?
And now for a sketch directed by our very own TTs.
Internal. Hospital. Day. Cue ambient hospital sounds. Scene opens on the back of a nurse as she enters a critical care unit. We follow her to a bed occupied by a patient who has just experienced a near-death experience. NDE for those of us in the know. The patient speaks.
I went to heaven and met Jesus.
Did you? Next time you see the Christ, could you ask him about your insulin levels? Because while your spirit was in paradise, your body was jerking around on the floor, swallowing your tongue and shitting itself.
Fade out ambient hospital sounds. End scene. How did I do?
I have notes.
Okay, now back to Revelation. Also of note here is the choice of jasper and sardine stones. These two stones show up in the Old Testament. They are the first and the last of the 12 stones to be worn on the high priest's breastplate, as per the ridiculous instructions on how Yahweh is to be worshipped in the book of Exodus.
Excuse me, Moses. Will Yahweh really turn us all to ash? If the first layer of curtains in the tabernacle isn't exactly 10 curtains, each 8 and 20 cubits long by 4 cubits wide, of fine twined blue, purple, and scarlet linen, inlaid with cherubims? Or is it just that your brother-in-law had exactly 10 curtains, each 8 and 20 cubits by 4 cubits wide, of fine twined blue, purple, and scarlet linen, inlaid with cherubims, in stock at his shop?
Did you hear that trumpet?
No.
I think Yahweh is calling me. Coming, Lord!
And finally, pulling apart verse 3 gives us...
And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald.
The rainbow could be taken to represent the rainbow, placed in the sky after the flood, to remind Yahweh he promised not to wipe out humanity with a flood again.
That was Yahweh's post-it note.
No, Yahweh, the rainbow means don't wipe out all the humans. Don't kill everyone, remember? I know, but you promised! Yeah, but you'll be breaking a promise to yourself. And you don't want to be that dude, do you?
Most apologists I read agree that the rainbow is multicoloured as one would expect a rainbow to be. But green is the dominant colour.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about. The olive one looks nice, you said. Does it really matter, you said? Yes, it fucking mattered. Now I look like an idiot in front of Yahweh. Fuck you!
Verse 4.
And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold.
You might be surprised to learn there are many theories about who these 24 elders are.
Many disagree.
These 24 elders might be the ones handpicked by King David back in the day.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
In 1 Chronicles, we are fed a story of David drawing lots to decide the order in which 24 priests from 2 prominent families would serve at the temple.
Okay, first lie is Jehoram. Sorry, bruh. Looks like you're cleaning the toilets on Thursdays.
Oh man, I hate it when we draw lots.
Hey, totes for real, my guy. Hate the game, not the player.
Fuck you, David.
Verse 5.
And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God.
All right, lightnings and thunderings and voices. This is the Yahweh I know and love.
Go away, trumpet. No one wants you here.
Now these
7 lamps of fire burning before the throne
are reminiscent of the 7 candlesticks from chapters 1 and 2 in this very book. But it's more likely John is referencing Exodus once again, where Moses was given very explicit instructions from Yahweh on how Yahweh ought best be worshipped. He mentioned 7 very specific and elaborate lamps.
Excuse me, Moses. Don't you think it's weird that Yahweh specifically asks for pure gold lamps, beaten into the shape of an almond tree, with trunk, branches, flowers, and buds? And your cousin just happens to exclusively make pure gold lamps, beaten into the shape of an almond tree, with trunk, branches, flowers, and buds?
Did you hear that trumpet?
No.
I think Yahweh is calling me. Coming, Lord!
Verse 6.
And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind.
Ew! I can see my own butthole! I can see my own butthole!
We'll get to the eyes, but first.
And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal.
Later on in this madness, a sea of glass will be mentioned again. Those who do not follow the Antichrist in the end times will get to stand on the sea of glass.
So, this is the reward for denying temptation, standing on glass? I feel a bit ripped off.
I think the sea of glass is, pretty simply, heaven's floor.
Is Bob Dylan knocking on it?
What? No. Anyway, my heaven's floor theory is just one of the many, many explanations for what this sea of glass might be.
I'm very surprised. You've found division among Christians.
Here are just the first 6 expert explanations I found.
It's time for a list. Oh yeah, it's that list time. Scooty up, yeah.
1. This sea represents a sea of people, the whole human race.
Gross.
2. The blood of Christ.
Why would it be that?
3. The wading pool in the OG tabernacle.
Wouldn't it be the other way round? The wading pool in the OG tabernacle would be the representation of the sea of... You know what? Forget about it. I'm getting drawn into this madness. Carry on with your list.
4. A medium for all entering heaven to be baptized.
That's kind of the wading pool again, but whatever.
5. The Earth's atmosphere, signifying heaven sits directly on top of our world, which is pretty much my heaven's floor theory.
Where we can upskirt the angels.
And 6. It's a metaphor. Just like the sea, under Yahweh exist many mysterious things.
Like dolphins and their very, very close cousins, sardines.
The list goes on and on.
Trust me. The list gets dumber. I had to limit her to 6.
There is one more.
I failed.
My favourite was that it is the looking glass through which Yahweh looks down on the world.
And that's why I always masturbate under the blanket.
Perhaps John just imagined a really well-polished floor. And not that I know from experience, but a polished floor can have a powerful effect on you when you're tripping balls.
Oh, wow. I can see myself in the floor. It's like I'm looking straight into my own soul. I can see everything. Like that time I kissed Michael Buckingham's ex on the swings. I don't think she was even that into it. I'm such a shit person.
All right, in verse 7, we get to hear more about these 4 beasts.
And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle.
All right, this is what I'm here for.
These 4 beasts sound a lot like the ones found in Ezekiel, except Ezekiel's were more human-like in their main body. Ezekiel calls them living creatures. They have 4 wings and calf feet that shine like burnished bronze. Can I just say, darling, I love the wings. The wings are hot. The wings are sexy. The wings are now. The little calf feet? What are you going for there? According to Ezekiel, each of these winged living creatures... According to Ezekiel, each of these winged living creatures had 4 faces.
As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, and the face of a lion on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. They 4 also had the face of an eagle.
So John has taken Ezekiel's lion, ox, man, and eagle faces and spread them over 4 different beasts.
I feel like that would make relationships easier.
Don't you turn your cow face on me.
Moo?
Ezekiel also talks about each of his 4 living creatures being accompanied by a wheel-shaped creature covered in eyes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, a wheel filled with multiple wheels. The rims of each of these multiple wheels is covered in eyeballs.
These are the moments when you think, maybe this book isn't made up, because who would make this up?
Probably someone who's in the spirit.
These eye-covered wheels move with the 4 living creatures, and Ezekiel says...
The spirit of the living creature was in the wheels.
I've known dudes like that.
I love car.
John simplified Ezekiel's creature design by losing the wheel and incorporating the eyes into the 4 beasts themselves.
Ew! I can see my own butthole! I can see my own butthole!
Side note, there are also 4 beasts mentioned in Daniel, and Daniel is certainly an influence on John, but those 4 beasts are just not quite the same.
Suck it, Daniel. Your beasts suck. I said suck twice. I just feel like that could have been composed better. Is this a fast draft?
Verse 8.
And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about them, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, holy, holy Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come.
So Ezekiel's living creatures only had 4 wings, but in another book from the Old Testament, the seraphim, described by Isaiah, have 6 wings and buzz around the head of Yahweh screeching.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory.
Which is pretty much exactly what John of Patmos just said.
An eternity of 6-winged monsters buzzing around your head, chanting the same thing over and over. Of course that's how Yahweh spends eternity.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is glory. Do you think we can stop now?
Would you like to be turned into a pile of ash?
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory.
I feel confident making the case John's 4 beasts are a combination of Ezekiel's living creatures and Isaiah's seraphim. But just to be aware, as always,
Many disagree.
It's definitely not the obvious and simple thing. It's actually very obscure and I couldn't possibly explain it to you. It's too complicated.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Verse 9.
And when those beasts give glory and honour and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth for ever and ever.
Heaven sounds fun.
Thank you, Yahweh, for creating us to exist forever in this place. Praising you over and over, every moment of every day, forever and ever. We totally don't wish for the sweet relief of oblivion every single moment of every single day.
Verses 10 and 11.
The 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth for ever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created.
I know you mentioned it earlier, but there was way too much other stuff going on. What are priests doing wearing crowns?
The priestly class wear crowns in the Bible. When else can they larp it up if not in their own book? If I wrote a book about my made-up bullshit, I would have a crown too.
Holy, 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 Lord Alexi, which was and is to come.
Chapter 5, verse 1.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals.
The book mentioned there is Yahweh's naughty or nice list.
Santa, I would like a PlayStation for Christmas.
Oh, little Jimmy. I'm sorry, but you thought about boobs after seeing down Mrs. Wilson's top. You're going to be murdered by the omnipotent creator God of the entire universe. Sleep well.
In every Hollywood End of Days movie, there's always the 7 seals, but nothing else from Revelation makes it into the final script. What's that all about?
When you first pitched this idea to me, I couldn't believe no one had thought of doing Revelation the movie before.
I know, right? It's so filmic.
Oh my god, it's so filmic. Anywho, the accountants have been through your script and made some cuts. Have a look, see what you think.
They've cut the 7-headed beast rising out of the ocean. The army of locusts with human faces, lions' teeth, and scorpions' tails coming out of the pit of hell. The 200,000 horsemen wearing flaming breastplates, riding horses with lions' heads, breathing fire with tails that are serpents with multiple heads. There's no topless Jezebel riding a dragon. There's no dragon at all.
Yep.
So the only part of Revelation we're keeping in is the 7 seals.
Yes, as long as we only talk about them in dialogue.
Verse 2.
And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice,
Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?
Hey, no proclaiming with a loud voice. This is a library.
Sorry, I got excited at the possibility of the end of days. I can't wait for it to be over. Not only is heaven an unmitigated living hell, but it's also boring.
Verse 3.
And no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon.
Yahweh made a book no one can open. Typical.
Yahweh, did you superglue the book closed again? That doesn't make it okay.
Verse 4.
And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon.
John's not a great house guest. He comes over to your place, and because you have a book he can't open, he starts weeping.
Why won't you let me open this book?
That's my daughter's diary. I would never.
It's pornography, isn't it?
What?
That's why you won't let me look.
I need you to leave right now.
Can I take the diary?
Oh, here's a real tricky one. You ready? Yeah. Verse 5.
And one of the elders saith unto me,
Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book, and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
In case you're wondering, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, is Jesus.
In the Australian vernacular, David's root means something quite different.
Only Jesus has the authority to open Yahweh's naughty or nice list.
But according to the totally not made up after the books were written Holy Trinity, Jesus is Yahweh. So it's completely meaningless that Jesus knows Yahweh's password.
It's 6969.
John of Patmos is making up his story 100 years before that, so you can't blame him for not knowing about the Holy Trinity.
I sure hope there aren't any unexpected and unjustified doctrinal shifts over the next century, because boy, will I have egg on my face.
Verse 6.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth.
How does John envision these 7 eyes and 7 horns being arranged on the slain lamb? Like, can you imagine the first art department meeting for this concept?
The way I saw it was a perfect circle of 7 eyes and 7 horns around the butthole.
So 9 eyes and horns then?
No, 7.
So this lamb had no eyes on its face or horns on its head?
I'm just telling you what I saw, Brianna.
You must have been staring at that dead lamb's butthole for quite a while to count all those eyes and horns.
Wouldn't you?
Verse 7.
And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne.
So this dead lamb backs up to Yahweh and grabs the book with its chocolate starfish?
Unlikely. Verse 8.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odours, which are the prayers of saints.
Golden vials filled of odours, which are the prayers of saints? The prayers of saints are farts and jars, aren't they?
Oh dear, there's been another mass shooting at a kindergarten. I have to fight down the impulse to admit we need societal changes before it happens to my kids, because if I did that, then I wouldn't be owning the libs, and owning the libs is more important than honesty, morality, or the lives of my own children. But I do want to reach out and signal to everyone that I pretend to care. Thoughts and prayers?
Does this ever happen to you?
It's happening to me right now.
Of course it's happening to you. You're in the ad. Just remember what the therapist said. Calm, deep breaths. Calm, deep breaths. Do you want to send something more tangible than thoughts and prayers?
Yes, I do. Is tangible a tangerine-flavored NFT?
Well, worry no more, Pistane. New from Christ Incorporated. Saints Farts in a Jar. Saints Farts in a Jar. Just as effective as prayer, but you can smell it.
Thanks, Saints Farts in a Jar. I can't wait for the next hurricane.
Saints Farts in a Jar. Let them smell you care. Saints Farts in a Jar is a trademark product of Christ Incorporated. Christ Incorporated is a subsidiary of Yahweh International. Stay stupid and keep hating.
Stay stupid and keep hating. Verses 9 and 10.
And they sung a new song, saying,
Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue, and people and nation, and hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
So let me get this straight. In heaven, Jesus is a slain lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns.
Yes.
7 eyes and 7 horns around his asshole.
Well, we mentioned the butthole, but John didn't specify.
I think it's pretty heavily implied in the text.
I don't think it is.
Agree to disagree.
Let's move on. Anyway, so there's 24 elders on their knees singing praise be to a dead lamb who has just made them all God kings.
We is rich biatches.
You'll be very surprised to learn this God kings line is not universally accepted. I know, right? It is not in a lot of other modern translations, and where it shows up in some early manuscripts, actually it reads as...
And hast made them unto our God kings and priests, and they shall reign on the earth.
Which I think we can all agree is more in keeping with the totalitarian nature of Christianity. Having said that, you will find King James Version's fundamentalists arguing this line means the true believers will all get to divide up the remnants of the Earth's population after Armageddon and rule their own little fiefdoms.
Gee, I wonder what would happen if a Christian was given control with no fear of reprisals.
Welcome to my post-tribulation kingdom. Rule number 1, there will be absolutely no sex. No one is having any sex at all. I'll make up the rest of the rules as we go. As far as living conditions go, all males work in the fields all day and live in the barn. Older ladies will cook and clean and sleep in the kitchen. Younger females will all live in the big house with me. And that reminds me, rule number 2, rule number 1 does not apply to those of us living in the big house.
How was that? I actually rather like that one. There's a bit of a mumbly.
And that reminds me. I'm going to do one more, slightly different. Welcome to my post-tribulation kingdom.
Verse 11.
And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beasts and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands.
I'm not saying John of Patmos sounds like a small child making up a story.
How many angels were there, little Johnny?
10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands.
Verse 12.
Saying with a loud voice,
Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing.
It sounds like being an angel is just simping for Yahweh.
In its defense, it's also boring.
Verse 13.
And every creature which is in heaven and on the earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, Blessing and honour and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb for ever and ever.
You think when John said,
And all that are in them,
he knew about bacteria? Did John of Patmos discover germ theory? And follow-up question, can germs go to heaven?
Yes, and that's why you can't get in if you're vaccinated.
This is TT's. Lexi is joking. Get vaccinated, you fucking morons! Yes, this is my voice now. We had to. It's a whole thing. Just get used to it.
Verse 14.
And the 4 beasts said, Amen. And the 24 elders fell down and worshipped him that liveth for ever and ever.
I feel like the elders have fallen multiple times at this stage. That's just not advisable at their age.
Me knees! Me precious knees!
Where we kick off chapter 6... John of Patmos is standing on a sea of glass and observing Yahweh being worshipped by this bizarre array of weird elders, strange monsters, and biblically accurate, terrifying angels.
Sounds like one of Diddy's freak-offs. Not that I would know.
Also appearing here is Jesus in the form of a dead lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns.
That's right, Trinitarians. Jesus and Yahweh in the same room at the same time. Together.
It's a trick Clark Kent and Superman never pulled off.
Verse 1.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of 4 beasts saying,
Come and see.
Stranger danger, John. Didn't your mum teach you anything? Don't come and see. Don't come and see.
I think John will come and see. Let's find out. Verse 2.
And I saw,
called it,
and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
That's right, people. We have finally reached the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
I have a lump in my throat.
You will be very, very surprised to learn that no one agrees on who or what the horsemen represent.
Many disagree.
So in this episode right now, we're just going to apply the most widely recognized interpretations of the horsemen.
Boring.
But in the next episode, we're going on a tangent.
We're going on a tangent. Yeah, baby, it's a tangent.
The whole episode's one big tangent. We're going to let the internet's freak flag fly and all the crazies will come out to play.
Each horseman represents a different period in the career of Bob Ross.
All hail the ASMR Antichrist.
Probably the most commonly known representation of the rider of the white horse is as pestilence or plague.
Gross. Why do I have to ride the plague horse? There's plague on my balls now, isn't there?
However, John of Patmos does not associate this horseman with pestilence, with plague, or any infectious disease.
Sick people make me vomit in my own mouth.
It makes me vomit in my mouth just a little bit.
Swallowed it.
Just a little bit.
This pestilence is a very modern interpretation. It only shows up in the record for the first time in the 20th century.
Don't you think it's a bit on the nose that the rider of the white horse represents colonization?
My God, you're right. It is a racist stereotype.
When will the rest of the world forget about all the conquest and forgive us like we forgave ourselves?
It's 1905, for crying out loud. We're about to have the most innovative and exciting century in history. As if some white people would screw up that with wars of conquest.
Oh, that's so Napoleonic. So, should we come up with a new theory? I've got a great replacement.
Yes, I've also got an idea. On the count of 3, we'll both say our great replacement theory for who rides the white horse.
Got it.
1, 2, 3.
Pestilence. Pestilence. That's what I said. Pestilence.
It sounded like you said...
Pestilence? That's what I said. Pestilence.
Verses 3 and 4.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say,
Come and see.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
So the most well-known interpretation of the red horse is as war.
What's it good for?
Please don't. The rider of the red horse has been sent to take peace from the earth and has a sword.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Verse 5.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say,
Come and see.
And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
The rider of the black horse is usually interpreted as famine, and you'll start to see why in verse 6.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say,
A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
These prices are thought to be much higher than usual, indicating price gouging in a time of starvation.
If John of Patmos wrote this in the 21st century, it wouldn't be wheat and barley, it would be toilet paper and semiconductors.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say,
Who knew not having anything to wipe your ass with would be a sign of the apocalypse?
Now you may have noticed the beast said,
And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Many believe that this implies luxury goods are not affected by the famine. In other words, the wealthy get through hard times just fine.
To me it reads like an instruction to fuck the pores.
Eat the rich. How about this story? In 92 CE, right around the time we think John was sitting in his cave writing Revelation, part of the Roman Empire were facing a famine. To mitigate the mass starvation of poor people, the Emperor Domitian tried to get the wealthy landowners to swap their grapevines and olive trees with food crops.
Guys, if the populace starves, they'll drag us out of our palaces and murder us in the streets.
If they have the energy to do that, they could just get a job and pull themselves up by their own sandal straps, just like my great-great-great-grandfather did. After he got that no-interest loan from his grandfather.
Domitian failed to get the wealthy landowners to do the right thing, which I think we can all agree that was unexpected.
How much of a piece of shit do you need to be to make a Roman emperor look like the good guy?
The modern day equivalent would be buying Twitter. Verses 7 and 8.
And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say,
Come and see.
And I looked, and I behold a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
The pale horse might not be pale.
Good. It would be stupid to have a red, black, white, and nearly white horse.
I don't know if the reality is less stupid. The Greek word used by John of Patmos can mean green.
A green horse? That's ridiculous. They don't even do a green My Little Pony.
Yes, there is. Minty.
The green My Little Pony, whom I've never heard of, is called Minty.
You know Minty the earth pony with 3 swirled mint candies for her cutie mark?
Nope.
She's clumsy and she collects socks. She stands on her head and plays checkers with Sweetberry.
I don't know if it's your place to talk to me about MLP. I'll be bringing this up at the next Bronies meeting.
Oh, marketing are on my back. They need a green pony. We cover every colour of the rainbow. It's kind of our thing, but no green.
Green is really hard to work with. Think of all the green pasture backgrounds.
Just make it happen and come up with a name.
How's greeny sound?
Sounds like you put in no thought whatsoever.
Okay, how about Minty?
Minty sounds like you're so pissed at having to make a green pony. You're purposefully putting in no effort into the name.
Minty it is, then.
Of course, the most common modern interpretation is that the rider of the pale horse is Death. For a start, he is named Death.
That is a big giveaway.
And he seems to be towing hell behind his horse, as one might a caravan. Clear the fucking road, Grandpa! The Greek word John uses that the King James Version translates as hell is Hades. As dedicated listeners will remember from our Disney Demons episode,
Gratuitous back catalogue plug.
Hades was the ancient Greek god of the underworld. But by the time of John of Patmos, Hades had become the name of the underworld itself.
I know a bloke who had this exact same thing happen.
Really?
Yeah, his real name was ludicrously unfunny, unbelievably ignorant, privileged, hypocritical, dishonest cunt of a tool, but that name somehow became associated with a certain type of white guy on the internet, so he changed his name to Elon.
Hey, not fair! You've done me twice in this episode.
Whether or not John of Patmos would have perceived hell as a place of eternal conscious torture dreamed up by a psychopath, or merely the place where all souls end up, is a debate for another time.
Debate me, bro.
Okay then, what's your opening gambit?
Usually people say no. So,
Verse 9.
And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held.
Obviously here John is talking about the early Christian martyrs who were murdered for their beliefs.
Crucify the Christian! Crucify the Christian!
We've always been this annoying.
Crucify the Christian!
Verse 10.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying,
How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
That's right, the holy martyred followers of Jesus are asking the Lord of love and forgiveness to carry out violence on their enemies.
We got two options here. Either in the next few verses we're going to see these spite-filled hate bags get their comeuppance from the Christ for demanding bloody vengeance and clearly missing his point, or Christians have been lying about the truth of Christianity.
Well, let's read on and find out which of those was a real option and which one you were being facetious about.
Spoiler alert, it's always the lying Christians, come on.
Verse 11.
And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them, that they should rest for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. What?
So that was actually quite an enlightening and disturbing little verse there. That does not get the attention it deserves.
I deserve this.
At the time of John's visit to heaven, there hadn't yet been enough murdered Christian martyrs to satisfy Yahweh's bloodlust.
Well, it is a death cult after all.
Yes, and this idea that more Christians must die is rampant all through the very modern phenomenon of rapture culture.
We invented this last week, and now it's like my entire personality.
We have seen in recent years evangelical Christians lobby to have the US Embassy in Israel move to Jerusalem specifically and openly with the hope it will cause World War III.
Which is ridiculous. If there's one thing we've learned in the last decade, World War III is going to be caused by the use of pronouns.
Verse 12.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
I had the exact same experience entering a Portaloo at the big day out in 1997.
Do not go in there.
Verse 13.
And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Lexi, what are untimely figs?
I'm glad you asked. I also found that an odd terminology. Most people agree that the Greek word John uses here usually describes unripe fruit.
Oh, exactly what you would expect, and
boring.
Yes, and I think it's obvious the figs are unripe or untimely because the cataclysm is taking them before their time. They have yet to mature, possibly physically and perhaps spiritually. Do you think apologists were able to stop there?
No, I do not, but I read ahead.
That's right. A number of apologists I read claimed the fruit is described as unripe or untimely because, you know, the way unripe fruit falls off trees much easier than ripe fruit.
No, I didn't know that.
No, neither does nature, science, logic, common sense, or just your own personal observation. But Christian apologists know it. You'd be amazed at the things Christian apologists know that simply require heroic amounts of cognitive dissonance.
I do believe that.
I would argue, as is so often the case, John is probably saying the complete opposite thing. He's highlighting how unusual and powerful this mighty wind will be. It will rip the unripe fruit from the trees.
To be fair, it is hard to come up with new and original stuff when you're a Christian apologist. Obstacle number 1? IQ.
It's true. I am stupid.
Verse 14.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
That must have been very discombobulating for everyone.
And annoying, I expect.
Yahweh, did you forget to put paperweights on the edges of the world again? Chickhead.
Also, I just have to say, the imagery of the heavens rolling up like a scroll is very compelling. Is John of Patmos a good writer?
He stole it. The last 2 verses are lifted almost word for word from Isaiah. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all their host shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. We know John borrows from Isaiah a lot.
Well, they are cosmic twins. 2 psychologically challenged dudes fantasizing about their favourite sky daddy wreaking vengeance on all their foes.
Yes, and in this particular case, the verse about falling figs and rolling up scrolls is about Yahweh's bloody vengeance on the Edomites.
Are Edomites like Sodomites but do stuff with cheese?
No, Edomites are the descendants of Esau who lived in Edom.
So that's a firm no on the cheese fucking.
Back to John of Patmos, verse 15.
and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains with the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in dens and in rocks of the mountains.
It's a very specific list of what type of person hid themselves.
Hey, where are all the old white men?
They hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
Do you think maybe we should also go hide ourselves away?
Nah, it'll be fine.
And then in verse 16, we hear the elites hoping Jesus won't find them.
And said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
I noticed among the hiding places of these elite men, no one mentioned Epstein Island.
No, John of Patmos was protecting Trump even back then.
It's not my fault. I didn't know there would be consequences.
Last verse.
For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Lexi, who will be able to stand against the wrath of the Lamb?
Our patrons!
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
Save your eternal soul. Be on the right side when Jesus comes back. And get bonus content.
Who will be on the wrong side when this alleged Christ comes back?
Well, just a very quick skim through the text will tell you straight away that the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man.
You mean the exact people fascistic, sycophantic, brown-nosing Christians worship the hardest.
Yes, and that's why Satan is my superhero.
Thank you so much for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, all that podcast stuff. But most of all, please give us money.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
If you join our Patreon at the Third Circle of Hell, you'll receive access to exclusive content like this.
Do you think the people can hear you slurping your tea in the background?
I really feel for the director. That's Film Talk Diary. The director is like the bishop. So, for example, when the awkward stories about you start arising in the community, he's the guy who you see to get you moved on to the next parish.
Can I do Lost Catchphrase?
Yeah, do it, totally.
My heart goes out to you.
I'm going to nail this one.
Auditions are like tryouts for the boys' choir, except far less sexual.
Maybe being tall isn't all it's cracked up to be.
It's true, it's harder on the heart to be tall and manly.
You wouldn't know.